What's up people, what's up? So today we're going to be connecting a DJ system. I've done this video before. I did this one a few years back, so I will put the link for that video for anyone who hasn't watched the video. I might have missed a few things on that video, so I'm going to try to see if I can add to whatever I missed from last time. But today, this is a highly requested video. I know there's other videos from other people that they've done on how to set up a DJ system. This is how I do it. I'm going to show you guys different ways to set up your speakers depending on what you got and what you're planning to do. So with that said, I'm going to show you what you guys need first off to plug in a DJ system. So you're going to need some outlets to plug in a few things. This one is a 6 outlet. This one I bought at Lowe's. This one has 6 outlets and it's also grounded, and it shows you here when it's also protected, so that way you connect it to a good outlet. You need some extensions, some IEC power cords. This will be connecting to your speakers. Where's the other one? Again, you may need some extensions depending how far you're connecting to the power. You also need some XLR cables to connect your controller to your speaker system. You may also want to have one of these because you never know when you're DJing. You may not have a song, and sometimes people come in with their phone. You can plug into it, so this comes nice and helpful. Of course, not too many phones have the auxiliary, but you can have the attachments for iPhones or Android phones attached to here. We need subwoofers, we need tops. These are called speakers, and of course you need a table, you need a controller. On the previous video, I showed you guys how I put a skin on this SRT 1000. I'll put the link down at the bottom so that if you guys want to watch this video, I just posted this one. Also, of course, this is just one type of controller. There's many controllers out there. There's entry-level controllers, there's mid-size, mid-level controllers, and there's called high-end controllers or more expensive controllers. And also there's setups for concerts or clubs. And pretty much they all do the same thing. They play your music, you connect to your laptop or USB and run the music to your speakers. With that said, let me put this camera down and we're going to show you guys everything that we're doing for today. So there's many ways to connect your system, whether you have one subwoofer, 2 tops, whether you have 2 subs, 2 tops, or if you don't have any subs, which is still okay, starting out you may only have 2 tops. And we only have 2 tops. You got to make sure you send the full signal. The only problem when you only have tops and no subwoofers, you're going to be pushing your top speakers to do full range, from bass to mids to highs. Right here I have a small system. This is great for some small to medium sized venues. So I do recommend having different size of XLR cables. As you guys can see, I have a short cable and a longer cable. The reason why you want to have different sizes, because sometimes you might go to venues where you may have to place your speakers a little further apart for better sound. Also, as you guys can see, I just put these ones, but these things are coming off, I don't know why. These are labels for your cable, so that way you know the length, or also you know which is right, which is left. It just makes it easy for you if you have to disconnect anything, or when you're setting up everything. So again, I have this here. I have a lot more, but this is what I'm setting up for today, depending on what you need. As you guys can see also here, I like to put one on each side, one of this outlet. And the reason why I do this, so again, it gives me option in case I need to plug in more stuff. Right here I have enough for the top and the bottom. And this was connected to one outlet. This other one will be connected to another outlet. You always want to maybe try to split your system to at least 2 separate outlets, so that way you have less chances of tripping the circuit and going out of sound, running into issues. You know what I mean? Where the power goes out if you're loading too much everything into one outlet, because you don't know what else is plugged into the same outlet at the venue or somebody's house. So if you can, always try to do 2 separate outlets. And if you have more stuff, a lot of lighting, do a separate outlet. So with that said, this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to run output out of the controller. Bear with me here, I'm doing everything with one hand. You get, this is the cable part, so this is going to go right here. You hear a click. We're gonna do the other one. Bear with me, I'm gonna put you down. This is the right side, so this will go right here. And make sure it clicks. From here, this is a lot of extra cable, but we're gonna clean it up, right? Again, I'm just showing you the differences right now from setting up a system. From here you go to the input of either 1 or 2, or if you only have one sub, you can run it to 2 of them. Know what I mean? So if you only have one sub, run the left and the right to each of them, and from here you're gonna send it to the top. One to the right and one to the left. So we're gonna plug this one here. I'm using the white cables that I labeled already, and these are going to the left side. You hear, this is the output. So whatever comes from the controller is gonna go to here, and it's also gonna send the same signal to the top. This is called daisy chaining. From here, I'm gonna plug it in to the input of one speaker. This is just the power for the speaker here. This is gonna be down here. And this speaker right here, again, right now it's a mess. No, I'll show you how it looks once everything's cleaned up and you don't see no wires, because you gotta do another thing. Make sure you stay organized with your cables. Plug it in. It's kind of hard when you do everything with one hand. We'll run the same thing over here. I know most of you might already know how to do this. This is for people that are beginning, or for anyone that had questions on how to plug in their system. Makes sense, right? So from here, once again, we're gonna go to the top, to one speaker right here. And I'll show you guys, let's say you only have one sub, you don't have this one. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take this out of here, because you don't have this one. This one will go straight to the top. That's another option. Just pretend you don't have that, right? So you remember, that one can also be coming from here straight to your speaker. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to do double like I was telling you, let me take this out of here. Right now we have one sub, one top, and from here to one top. We're not using the bottom because pretending we only have one. But if you want to run two, you're going to take this out of here. You're going to plug it to output. Remember, right now we're doing output out of the mixer. We're going to bring it into this one, which is the second one. And this one is going to go to the top of the other speaker. Right now we're using 2 ins and 2 outs on one sub only. And that goes to the top right here. Remember, right now this is not getting sound. Just that one. These two are going to those inputs, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 output go to one speaker and to the other speaker. Same thing, we're going to plug this down, we're going to clean everything up, and actually before I go, let me do something different right now. Before I forget, I was showing you guys, if you guys are going to do an auxiliary input, you guys can use any of these ones right here. 1 and 2 we most likely always use for our music, with their computers, but you also have extra ones here. So let's say you're not going to use channel 3 and 4, you can always use this here. And this is going to be now line in. Right now we use a input for the computer. Move it to line in, and now we're just using this one right here. So you can plug in any other auxiliary input, anything they bring to you, an iPad or whatever, with their music. Phones, you know what I mean? So, alright, so I plugged in the left side, and I will show you guys how that's gonna look once it's all plugged in. Right now I'm using both sides, both subwoofers, Again, if you're not using 2 subwoofers, just pretend it's only one. So all you gotta do is just one, and like go to one top. So when you plug in, make sure it clicks. Sorry about that. I know I'm using one hand. This one's the output. This will go down to your subwoofer, to one input right here. This is an output. This will go to the top. If you're using only one sub, we'll plug in both right and left of the controller to here, and from here output to the right and to the left. Makes sense, hopefully, right? From here, we're gonna send the signal. Remember, this is coming in, this is going out. This is called daisy chaining. From here, we put it up to the input of the top. Okay? But we don't want to mess like this, right? We don't want wires hanging. We don't want the mess. This is just showing you right now. Even that one, I wouldn't want it there. I would try to look something on the floor. And this is what we want. This one's already done. As you guys can see, I have a wire connected, power is connected. And as you guys can see, we have gaff tape on the back of it. So that way nobody will see it all the way down. You see it nicely tucked in, nice and clean. Nobody should be able to see any type of wire. Look at that difference right there. So how do we do this? Easy. Get a piece of gaff tape. Let me put this down for a second because we're gonna split this one into 3 pieces. Right here, so 1, even 4 is okay, it doesn't matter. So we have a few pieces here, little smaller ones. So you grab your cables, don't pull them too hard. And you start right here. See that right there? Start with that one. Wrap the tape around it. Cut this piece here. And you bring it down slowly here, kind of along the back of the paw. Right here. I'm gonna put another tape. All along the subwoofer pole right here. Another one. So what do we do once we get to here? Right? We're gonna tuck this in, not tuck this in, but like put them really close together and get a nice piece of gaff tape and just run it alongside the subwoofer. Once again, you have your gaff tape right here. Put those nicely tight together and center it, bring it back. So now you have a nice clean look on your wire from the front. And now let me show you guys how the back's supposed to look. Because again, we don't want a bunch of wires like this. We try to clean it up as much as we can. All these wires shouldn't look like that. We're gonna gaff tape everything on the floor and clean as much as we can. So let me show you that too. So you have all the wires back here, they're a little bit messed, right? So what I normally like to do, all the extra wire, I like to kind of wind it up again so it's all nicely coiled up. And it's easy for us in case we need to plug or unplug anything again. Any of the extra, and the extra length of the cable. Clean it up. That's what the little Velcros are great for that. So that'll be good right here, you see that? I'll put the tape here, the Velcro. Sorry, not the tape, the Velcro. Everything's, even those back here, nobody sees this, but it's more cleaned up than just thrown everywhere. This is the extra one from the top, the power to the speaker. I'm gonna kind of like wrap it up too, so in case we need to do any type of emergency unplugging, not everything's all coiled up like in a spaghetti that we cannot undo it fast. Plug this in. This one's already done. nice and tight. Looks messy, but it's not. At least you know everything's separated. You know, you got 1, 2, 3. See? That's one way. This extra wire, the one that goes to your speakers, this one, keep it nice and tight with gaff tape all around the back of your setup. Even your the power that you're getting in, same thing. Don't have it looking like this. Keep it nice and straight. Either run it through the wall in the back and tape it. Gaff tape is very important to keep everything nice and clean. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna explain a little bit more on the last video that I did. Again, I'm gonna put the link. I didn't explain really good on how to use the mixer. I do recommend you guys always use the mixer, even if you have a nice controller. The mixer is gonna give you better options, more connectivity, and also better control of your microphones. Even though, again, good controllers will have good microphones, but it's always better to just have a separate mixer. What you want to do, if you're going to do a mixer, this is what you do. From right here, again, this is coming to the speakers, right? This is the output. So instead of coming from here, they're going to come out of your mixer. This one's very popular mixer, this Yamaha MG06. So now this is getting the signal out to the speakers. So how are we going to get it from here? We're going to connect from here to these two channels. One of these two, 3 or 4 or 5 and 6. There's different ways to do it. You can do it with RCA to quarter, but I always prefer to do XLR. That gives you better signal balance. So plug in. Again, make sure they click in there. And from here, these two, they're gonna go now to right here. So now we got the sound from here to the mixer, from the mixer to the speakers. You got your master now out of here, and you got, of course, power. And we're gonna we're gonna plug in a microphone. You can do wireless microphones, you can do a regular corded microphone. This is just an extra strap. So now you have your microphone connected to your mixer. And let's try it out, let's test it out. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Check, check, check. 1, 2, test, 1, 2. Check, check. Alright, so you guys can see I plugged in one microphone right here, and I usually start right here before I do any type of sound check, so make sure nothing is clipping or making sound. The master out, I have it right here on Unity, and I start raising the volume slowly as I go. I start here first. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check, check. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And if I need to go a little bit more, I go right here. You don't want to go too high on this one because that's where you have probably you might start having getting some feedback. Check. You hear right here as soon as you go too high. So try to keep it as long as you're not clipping. Again, if you have any clipping issues, that means you don't have your setup properly. Also, was a big plus, big tip, try to keep your low as possible, your bass, because that is also going to help you not get too much feedback, and it gives you a nice clear sound on your microphone. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to show you how to plug everything with no subwoofers. Always keep an eye on your levels here and on your mixer. I know I'm looking at backwards here, but you should always be on the green, maybe a little bit on the yellow. You don't want to be in the red. If you're on the red, that means you're already clipping your signal and it's going to sound distorted. Same thing on if you have a mixer. Keep it on the green, which is kind of 0 right here. Maybe go a little bit on the yellow, which is still okay. that's kind of already pushing it. But if not, bring it down to green, and you're gonna have nice clear signal the whole time. Your speakers as well too, make sure you're not clipping them. I usually start here on 0 dB, which is unity. Keep an eye on your signal that you're not flashing red, or some of the new speakers will tell you limit. Alright guys, so this is a quick safety tip for you guys. If you're ever gonna use tripods, do not set them up like this. This is dangerous. They can easily flip over just by anybody passing by. So always spread them all the way. And I'll show you really quick again. If you can, make it as flat as possible on these supports right here. They should be nice and level with the floor, and the legs are nice and wide open. Alright guys, really quick, last thing before, I know this video is getting kind of too long already. So last thing, let's say you don't have no subwoofers, you only have tops, which is okay. You know, some tops are still really good enough. They do full range. Make sure you put them on full range, which means, you know, make sure they do bass and tops and everything. So we have them on a tripod because we don't have subwoofers. Run it from your controller, or if you have a mixer ready, plug it in. And on this one, you're gonna run it at full range from your settings. If it's an older speaker, you can do on the buttons, but most of the new ones will have a display where you adjust if you're sending signal full range, or if you're gonna take off some of that bass on your speakers. Alright, once again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I didn't miss anything on this video. And with that said, I'm gonna end this video. Make sure you guys comment, subscribe, and hit the like button. And if you guys want to see anything else, leave it down in the comments.